What's up, Icebreakers? We have another big episode for you today. We have a set of hockey players from the University of Regina. They are both captains for the hockey teams, and they are both student athletes, and they are on the Student Athlete Leadership Committee. We are going to dig deep into their leadership styles, how they motivate their teams, and what type of legacy they have left on the U of R hockey program. Our first guest is Paige Hubbard, forward and captain of the U of R women's hockey team. She has been with the team since 2019 and has been an all-academic Canadian all 5 years. In her first year, she made the Canada West All-Rookie team and the U of R Female Rookie of the Year. Carson Sass is our second guest. He is the defenseman and captain of the U of R men's hockey team. Carson played 4 seasons in the WHL with Red Deer, Kelowna, and Moose Jaw being his final team before coming to the U of R. So let's give a warm welcome to the Dimple twins. Thanks so much for being here.
That's right.
Thank you.
Perfect. I love it. So can you just tell me, where that nickname came from first?
I feel like when we first, met.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
we just,
So it was kind of when we were like the teams were pretty close, like the women's and the men's. So we'd, always do stuff together. And I didn't really know Paige at the time, and we just had like a competition with our teammates about who had better dimples. So
yeah.
I obviously had better dimples, and then it was just like an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
So it was just a funny thing, and yeah, ever since then it's just been kind of one of those things where we both have been known for that.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. So I asked you, to bring some photos to share some of your favorite memories about hockey. Can you, tell me about the photos that you brought with you today?
So mine is when I actually was fortunate enough to play on Team Saskatchewan for the Canada Winter Games in 2014, I think it was. It was in Prince George. It was a pretty cool moment because it was like a bunch of different athletes in Prince George, and we had it was basically a mini Olympics. Mm-hmm. So it was just cool to kind of all come together and have like a village, so to speak, where you're just kind of all together, did stuff together, and they had concerts and stuff. And the hockey was, we didn't do very well, but it was just a fun experience. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I know I was able to go to the Canada Games as well, but back in 2023 for wheelchair basketball. But I remember going and watching Team Sask for the men's hockey. And I think they placed, when I was there, third or something. They did, well, maybe a little bit better than you. I don't mean to point that out, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if we won a game or not, but... other than that, it was just fun. It was just cool. We were able to watch a couple different sports and stuff like that. So that was kind of the first moment where it was kind of had a big tryout, and you go through the whole process of Team Sask and stuff. And yeah, it was fun. It was my first flight, actually, the first time I was on an airplane and stuff. So we got a charter, and it was a Disney plane. So I just remember that. It was I don't know if WestJet still has them, but they're decked out in Disney stuff, so it was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, did you have the Disney music that was playing in the background as well, or did they just
I don't know if they had the Disney music or not, but I just remember the outside of the plane was just Disney, inside was old Disney and stuff. So yeah.
Oh no, I love that. Yeah, definitely the Canada Games is a good experience just to get that mini Olympics feel, and it's so much more than just the games you play. It's just being there and connecting with other athletes in different sports. And I don't know, I got exposed to ringette for the first time. I knew about the sport, but it was the first time that I watched ringette when I was at the Canada Games. So it's definitely a lot of good memories.
Yeah, it was fun. My parents were there, my sisters and stuff. So it's kind of a cool little moment for us. So yeah.
Oh no, that's amazing. How about you, Paige?
Okay, my picture I brought is a little picture of me when I don't even know now, Timbit's age. And I brought it because I'm wearing Cougar colors. So I think that's really cute. And but I also went to Canada Games too.
Did you?
So we must have been it happens every 4 years, right?
Every 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, which is super interesting.
It was in Prince George?
No, it was in Red Deer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember when it was in Red Deer because I was playing in Red Deer.
Oh, yes.
And we had to move, or not move, but we had a big long road trip.
Right.
Because I remember they built like a whole facility for it. So yeah, actually I remember that. I don't know how old I was. I think I was 18 or something. But yeah.
It must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool too. The food wasn't that good though.
Yeah, awful food. But what I do remember, I still have it. It's a lanyard, and we'd have pins. Yes. I remember just going around and like, hey, can I have that pin? And then at the end, we were there for the closing ceremonies, and I have like a Manitoba gloves. I have a Team Ontario toque or something, and then I kept the jacket. Our jackets were ugly, like they were green. Lime
They have
green.
not changed. I can say that.
I just remember like the lanyard and the pins, and then like trading like clothing and stuff. So
my best trade was I traded my ugly jacket for a Yukon jacket, and it was
Really?
silver, and it had like
that's
Yukon on
nice.
the back, and then it's like a red zipper. It was really cool. Yeah.
And I think, the pins, I didn't get much into pin trading while I was there. I wish I would have gone when I was a little bit younger. I was 2023. I was 20 when I went. And so I felt like I was so much older than a lot of the other athletes, because all of them were under 18. So they got into the pin trading and everything. But my mission staff was able to get some just sets of pins from the other mission staff. So I have like a full BC like totem pole and like a bunch of the stuff. Even did any of your pins move? Because we had like a lobster trap and like some other lobster ones that would like move, kind of like a bobblehead.
Yeah, I can't really remember, but I just know like there's some pretty cool ones, and they had like I guess there were stores, and you just go and like grab pins, and then try and trade them. And when I went, like I'm from Melville, so the city of Melville gave me like a bag of pins to take with me.
Lucky,
And I had no idea what was going. Like, what do I
You're like, what?
But they gave me a bag of pins to like trade and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's amazing. Honestly, that's like pins. I didn't realize like the type of currency it was in the games. And so like that bag of pins, like, or getting like, or even Olympians, I remember like watching the Olympics, the Summer Olympics, and like Alona Mar, like, or like she got a bunch of pins custom made so she could trade, and you weren't necessarily giving up your country's pins all the time, but you were able to still trade and get into it, which is amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was just kind of like one of those things where I wasn't really expecting it. And it was fun because then you got to like talk with other athletes and stuff. So it was a good experience, but
Yeah. No, I love that. And I think it's really cool that you both have like Canada, like we all have Canada Games experience. And I feel like a lot of people who are on high performing teams or in youth sports, typically they've either played or represented the province, but they also have that Canada Games, that national, like multi-sport games experience, which is really cool, just to be able to, bond with other athletes, even like while you're at the games, or if it's something that you find out later in life as well.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So we're going to get into some of our a little bit more planned questions and organized questions. So, we're going to take it back to when you first got involved in hockey. Why did you get into hockey? Like, do you have any favorite memories, aside from the ones that you shared just a couple minutes ago, or like, why do you love the sport?
My dad loved it. Like my dad, he played it, and then I have my older sisters, they both played it. And every winter my dad would build a backyard rink. So I'd go out there for hours, and like I can't remember when I first put skates on, but it was like really young, and my dad just like embraced it. Ever since then, I've just kind of been in love with it and stuff. So definitely that helped. And then obviously growing up in minor hockey, I kind of started to separate myself from others and stuff. So, but yeah, mostly my parents, I'd say. I don't know how much my mom really enjoyed going to the cold rinks and like the contact and stuff, but my dad, he loved the game. He still loves it. Like he'll travel around watching local hockey teams and stuff. So definitely influence from him, and then just seeing like my sisters play, obviously wanted me to keep playing and stuff. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like mine's very similar. My dad loves hockey. My sister also played. So I feel like just coming from that hockey family influenced me. I still remember like first time like learning how to skate. It was like the shoes, and then like you strap them on with like the two blades. So just like going to the outdoor rink and learning on like that too.
Yeah, I think my dad kind of tells a story. I was like 14 months old or 18 months old. In our basement, we had carpet, and he had me in skates.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I could barely walk, but I was just stomping around downstairs with the skates. And then, obviously, I went out to the backyard rink. And, fond memories. I just remember early mornings, nights, and stuff. I just have buddies over and on that rink, and he would spend hours trying to like prepare it and like flood it every night and stuff. So, it was just mostly him, and I think that's just kind of, I feel like a lot of hockey players are kind of like that. Obviously, there's some that aren't, but for me and obviously Paige, like that was just one of those things where the memories of being young and being on skates kind of just helped us grow into where we are now. So.
Oh, I definitely like that. I think I like the idea of how hockey is just, it's able to be introduced to you by, like, it's so well known that a lot of people are fans of it or have played, and that like parents or family members can introduce you to the sport. I always wonder how people get into more of those niche sports like bobsledding or anything like that, and like unless you have someone or somebody, like you don't really get into it when you're young, and it's really nice to have that start from a young age, and like you've got those memories, and it's like you can't really remember a time when you're not on skates or you're not playing hockey or you're not around hockey or the hockey culture, which is really cool, I think.
Definitely. Did your younger sibling too, right?
No, I have two older sisters.
You're the youngest, though, right?
Youngest,
so I think even with that, like just wanting to be like your older siblings, like my sister's skating, and I'm like, I gotta skate. I gotta do it. So I think that helps too.
Yeah.
So like with like that family, like definitely.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I'm the oldest sibling. I've got a younger brother, and he's not really into sports very much. But yeah, I always wonder, there's people in my community that I always looked up to too, and just like wanting to be them, wanting to be better, and whatever I was doing, which is really cool. I don't think since I'm the oldest sibling, I've never really had, like a sibling to look up to, and so I always think that's really cool. Like, how does that feel to have, an older sibling to look up to, whether that's in sports or academics or not even just in life in general? How does that impact your life? And I
feel like me and my sister are super close. We do. So I'm from Brandon, Manitoba. So she lives there right now. So we're 3.5 hours-ish away, but I feel like we still stay in contact, and I text her almost every day, and I think I ask a lot for advice too. So it's nice to have that advice if you ever need to.
Both my sisters are quite older than me, so I wouldn't say I'm super close with them. Obviously, we still talk and stuff, but I'm not texting for advice every second day. But I think growing up, they always played. I was just that annoying little brother that just wanted to be around them. So I always had to just try and one-up them, I guess. And just in hockey and life for sure. I just, a little bit of a competitiveness and stuff. So I think that helps a lot when you do have someone that's older than you, looking up to you. So it was a good experience and stuff. So it kind of, helps you kind of progress through life.
Oh, that's super cool. And so do you think that, I guess, competitiveness, I feel like it probably I probably know the answer, but how has that competitiveness, within your family translated to playing hockey and on your teams, or even academics, or just other parts of your life? How do you see competitiveness appear in your life?
I just think trying to be really good at what you do. I wouldn't say growing up playing or just in general, our family is really competitive, but just my parents just demanded, being, if you're going to do something, do it all out and make sure you're doing it at 100%. So I think I've just kind of carried that through school, through, jobs, working and stuff. Just, if you're going to do it right and try your best at it.
I think it also brings a little competition and a little bit of fun too, to games or school. And I think just even with, guys, I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's okay.
Okay, next question.
Well, I was just thinking about like competitiveness, and like me and my friends had like a crib tournament before the Christmas break, and I thought my cousin was gonna win because it's his first year. He's here in Regina. He's from Alberta, and he came for his first year of university. And we had a crib tournament. I'm like, this guy plays with my grandpa, like our grandpa all the time. Like he's gonna win. And I was just going for the vibes. I hadn't played crib in a long time. And then me and my friend Hannah, we end up like going to the final game and like playing crib. And then we had to do, because we did a double knockout, we ended up losing our first game. So we had to play another game, and we ended up losing again. And I wanted to win. So like I went in not wanting to, I didn't care if we lost. But when we started winning more, I was like, okay. I'm like, I need to win. And it just made it that much more enjoyable. Like even just like smack talk over the, like even just playing cards. My grandma told me one time, and like I was not expecting this. I was at home with my grandparents, and they were headed back home to their farm, and my grandma, we had played a couple card games, and I had lost. And before they leave, like before they walk out the door, she's like, Avery, someone always has to be at the bottom. And I was like, Grandma, like, you can't tell me that. No. I'm your grandchild. But then from then on, I'm like, okay, it's on. Like, cards is competitive. So I definitely agree with, like, that competitive nature, and just it's fun. And you get to see different sides of people, whether it's an evil laugh, if it's like how people do under pressure. Do they compete well? Do they, like, are they better at strategizing, or like whatever it is? You can definitely get to know somebody through how they compete.
Yeah, I think depending on how you go about it too. Like I remember me and my dad would play like mini sticks and stuff, and I was young, like I was maybe like 5 or 6 years old, and he'd win and I'd literally lose my I'd just go off the rockers, and I'd like throw sticks, and I'd get so mad. But I just wanted to win, and I wanted to beat him, right? So even on the ice, like on the backyard, like on the rink and stuff, if he would win, I'd lose it. So so depending how you go about it, like I don't know if necessarily I had to do it, like throw a mini stick or something like that, but I just wanted to win so bad that I think it just kind of helps, helps you, as you move up in the game, at the end of the day, you want to win. No one wants to lose. So I've just kind of carried that throughout my schooling, and like I said, working and stuff like that. You just want to be as best as you can. So that definitely helped me, I guess.
Yeah.
I think even with like learning to lose, I think being like competitive, I think learning to lose is also like something that you like grow to learn. And I feel like that helps you a lot in like later on, like right now, like in hockey for us as well. And even like school for grades, just like learning how to like overcome that.
I think that's like adversity too. Like, how you can kind of overcome that. And in hockey, adversity, like it's coming every day, every shift, every practice, every game. And if you have like the mental strength to kind of overcome that, I think it'll make you a better player and person as well.
Oh, no, I like that. I think you, like you're touching on something really important, is like being able to deal with losses, but also wanting to win and not being satisfied with losing, or even though if you did your best, like you still want to win. And so how is that winning mentality, or, being able to overcome adversity, how is that translated into your roles as captains for the university team?
I'd say like you kind of got to learn how to control it the right way. I think like if you do get frustrated, you need to, being as a captain, you need to kind of have that calm demeanor where you can kind of settle the guys down, or girls, I guess, and have that calming personality where if things are going kind of not your way, you can kind of help the team. Okay, like we're fine here. Like we can kind of overcome this, and kind of, I guess, help other guys, gain that mental strength and understand that there's going to be, like, hockey's a game of mistakes, where there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be issues on the ice and stuff that you just need to be able to prepare yourself and overcome that. Trying to just trying to stay calm and helping with, other players understand that it just happens. And by getting frustrated, it's not going to make things any better. So.
I think with that, like, you win together, lose together as well. Yeah. And even like being able to like lean on like us if they need support, or like even for us to lean on each other, just to know that like we're a team, we're going to get through this together.
Yeah.
And like celebrating those small wins too, I think. Like making sure like those little things, like maybe we didn't want the outcome we had, but like, you know what, we back checked really hard, or like we outshot them. Like making sure we focus on not just the negatives, but the positives.
No, I like that. And I think celebrating is always hard to find those small wins, especially if it's a tough game or close game, or you lose in overtime. Like it's hard because all you can focus on is the negative. And, as an athlete now, and being one of the oldest people on the team, I try to find little things that are good, or go, hey, you did really good with this. Like you, in wheelchair basketball, we call it back picking, because you can completely stop somebody's wheelchair. So it's like, you did a great job back picking that because you created space, and like you created a man advantage for us. So I think that's super important component of being a leader. How do you feel about, having the role of captain and knowing that people are going to lean on you, or you're the person that has a label, like basically lean on me, I'm here to lead you, I'm here if you need. Does that put any pressure or weight on your shoulders at all? And how do you deal with it?
I think there's lots of pressure, actually. Like it does get stressful at times, because there's 20 to 25 players on a team, and no matter what you do or what you kind of like schedule, no one's happy. Like there's always like someone that's unhappy with it, or doesn't work with their schedule, especially in university hockey and stuff, where guys have school, possibly some might have jobs. They're always like complaining about certain things. So in that sense, I found that pretty stressful, just because you're trying to make everyone happy, and you don't want your teammates to, I guess, not necessarily dislike you, but just get annoyed by certain things that we're doing. I don't know, like I think we've talked about it, Paige, like where it is tough to like have everyone on the same page. So it's just it is a struggle, but in the same time it's kind of nice being the captain, because you can kind of decide. You can just be like, you know what, that's just how we're going to do it. And if you don't like it, then in my eyes, I think you just don't like it. You just have to put up with it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of eyes are on you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a challenging kind of part too. But I feel like if you got to like create that like team culture where like they're going to support you too. And like, I feel like that helps a lot, having them behind your back, like knowing that if say we're like, let's go work hard and like on the ice today, like let's put extra effort in for battles, and like everyone's like, yes. And like just having that support of them following you, I think is really important for that.
Yeah. I think you just got to kind of set your ways early. And if, like I said, if they don't like it, then obviously maybe they're not in the team culture and buying into what we're trying to do.
No, I think that's interesting. And so when you kind of set what you want to do, is that, do you talk with the head coach, assistant, like the coaching staff and team to help develop that? Or like kind of what kind of relationship do you have with the coach, captain and coach relationship, and how does that impact your leadership style, what you say, the goals, the culture? It's a pretty big question, but yeah, can you just tell me about kind of the coach and captain relationship, really?
I had a really good relationship with my coach, being the captain. We'd try to meet once to 2 times a week, just kind of see how the room's doing, because their perspective is different than our perspective. So I'm in the room every day. They're not necessarily there every day, or inside the room, I guess. But we would meet once or 2 times a week, just kind of go over things, see how everyone's doing, if we're tired, if we need to do some more team building, if we need to change some things, or what. I was basically the voice of the team, and if there's any concerns, and I'd kind of relay to him and give my advice or my suggestions on what we should be doing. But at the same time, like at the end of the day, the coach it's his team, so what he says is kind of I can, like I said, I can give my advice, but whatever he says, that's just how it's going to be. And if guys and myself don't like it, we just kind of got to put up with it. So yeah, I think like I don't know if everyone's like that, but I had a pretty strong relationship with him, and it does like change the way you lead, because when you go talk with him, like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I wasn't really seeing it that way, but when you really think about what he's trying to say or trying to do, and in the end, I come out of it and I'm like, hey, that makes sense, and then I can kind of try and get the team to buy into that.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important, is making sure like I also had a really strong relationship with my coach. So we always would do leadership group meetings. So it wasn't just myself and the coach, but it was like all of our leaders kind of would talk about that, discuss about things on the week as well, and like what we're working on and stuff like that. But I think we are like the bridge between like the team and the coach. But like what the coach is doing, we got to make sure that like we're also buying in so that our team will buy in, which is super important. Because if, say, we go against like what the coach is saying, or like the team's going to notice. And I think that has a big impact. So just making sure that we're being careful and like buying into like the team rules and stuff like
even if you don't really agree with it. I think you just kind of got to kind of go with it and do it for the better of the team. Not so much about yourself. Like at the end of the day, it's a team sport. So you all got to kind of pull that rope in the same direction.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing it, then the rest of the guys or girls are going to see that, and they're not going to do it either. So that's when you kind of get an issue where teams are kind of breaking up. Like you're kind of losing the room is what we kind of call it. So being a leader, you kind of it is stressful, because you do have lots of weight on your shoulders trying to like keep the group together. But I enjoy doing it, and it just kind of adds to it. And I think it helps you kind of pass hockey as well. Like I feel like now I'm more prepared. I can into my next chapter, I can, in a job or whatever, I can kind of help lead and use my experiences to kind of grow that company or whatever I'm trying to do.
Yep. I even feel like with the coach, Brandy, having like a good relationship too. She knows that you have like the best, the things you're bringing to her are what's best for the team. So I feel like that helps, and how she allowed us to kind of have input in some things and like help influence her. And like, she was very understanding what our views, and then she would say yes or like change it a little bit. So just having that relationship with your coach is also really important.
I like that collaboration too, because that was kind of answered one of my questions that I had while you were, sharing about your relationship between you and the coach. Is that like, what if you do bring up issues with the team, like you're the spokesperson for the team? What if you do bring up issues that the team has, and like, what if the coach dismisses it, right? Like you're saying you kind of have to put up with it, or like go with it, going, okay, maybe they see something different than I do. But yeah, Carson, is there any like collaboration that you've had before, like in general on any teams that you've been on?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes both ways. Like I think if to have a good relationship with your coach, they got to understand, okay, he's coming to me, I got to kind of back him up a little bit, because in the past maybe I backed him up. So it kind of goes both ways, where the coach has to kind of come from our side of views, and okay, well, maybe he's right, or maybe that's what the team needs right now. So I think like if you do, in my eyes, being a good coach is having that collaboration with your captain or leadership team, or even the players in general. But like we said, like we're kind of like the spokesperson for the team,
like the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge.
Bridge
so
between.
I think like being a good coach is also understanding that they need to like respect the captain or the leaders too, so we can collaborate and have that respect for each other.
No, I definitely like that. And so you both mentioned leadership team. Aside from the head coach and the assistant coach, who all makes up the leadership team? Typically?
We had 2 assistants.
We had 3 assistants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so usually they're like, usually they're older, like been on the team for a year or 2 years or 3, and they're kind of, voices in the room as well. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't necessarily need a letter to be a leader.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think that's kind of a cliche. Like you hear it all the time in hockey and in other sports too, but you don't necessarily need a letter to lead the team or help lead the team. I think everyone should be a leader. Like everyone should be like I said, pulling that rope and buying into what we're trying to do. So, we had 3 assistants. We had our leadership team was extended a little bit. We had a couple others that would be coming into meetings and stuff. But they're just kind of like guys that do enjoy voicing their opinions and maybe have a louder voice, and that we can kind of talk with each other and go back and forth and see if we need to change something or go to the coach or have that communication with him.
Yeah.
Yep. For us, we had our 3 assistants, and then we would always bring in like some younger players as well, just for them to get the experience and just know what we're talking about. But what you were saying, how everyone is a leader, that was like our team. I feel like everyone has different ways of leading too. So I think that brings a lot to the team. Like it only takes one follower, and then making sure like you're doing that too. If someone's picking up pucks, you're going to join them, like doing those like little things.
Oh, I love how you both, like you brought up the idea that leadership is for anybody, because I think, that idea is slowly changing. I don't think like leadership, when you think about it, stereotypically, it's okay, top down, coach, captain, and you got those assigned to you. But I think that, if the view starts changing a little bit more to everybody's a leader in their own way, because you can be a mentor to someone on the team, but you can also like look up to somebody else on the team who might be younger than you. Like it just depends. Like you can admire people and respect them and what they do and value their voice too in the locker room. I remember being in the locker room at Canada Games with my basketball team, and I was the only girl in the room, and I felt like my voice wasn't heard. I was the newest person. I'd only been playing for 5 months, and it was just like I didn't know if my voice was heard or was valued in the space. And it only took, like one game, and for me to go, okay, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and it's okay. And it wasn't necessarily captains that were, trying to motivate the team in one way, because I truly believe they didn't necessarily have the capacity in that game to be able to, motivate the team. And so has there been moments where maybe not necessarily if you don't have the capacity or the thoughts or the mental space to be able to, motivate your team, but has there been moments where you've let someone else shine with their leadership, or if they have something to say, or if they're going to pick up pucks on the ice or anything like that?
Definitely. I feel like I've had girls come up to me and talking about like they want to, we should talk about this. And I go right ahead. Like you should speak up and say it. And just like letting them voice that coming from them, I think is so important. Like say if they're like, we had a really good practice. I'm like, you tell the team that like you can do it. Like you're a leader.
Yeah. I've had many times, like, especially in games, like sometimes where you're trying to not get frustrated at your own game, like your own game. And there's times where in between periods I'll go in and I just don't want to say anything. And that's when like I want everyone to be able to like in between periods or at the end of practice say something. I think it's important if we have different perspectives coming out. And I think I can say I can always go in between periods and say something, okay, like we need to get going, but I think it's important for others to say that as well, so it's not always just me. And I think that's just a good team environment where the guy next to you can, voice their opinions as well. I don't think it always has to come from older guys or, captains or assistants. I think like younger guys they're on the team too, they can have input. So I think that's very important. No,
I think that's really good. And so have you seen value from input from all levels of players, all, years, if it's a rookie or a veteran on the team or a returning player. Have you seen, value from, allowing other people or kind of motivating them to go, you've got ideas, like you should say it, not me. Have you seen, either a direct impact or a translation into maybe a change in team culture or how people play, or even just like a little change within the person that you've just lifted up a little bit?
I do feel like we all come from different experiences. And with that, I think the experience, like, they look at it differently, and I feel like sometimes you don't even see like the way like they're looking at it. I'm like, that is so amazing. Like, I didn't think about that. I feel like that brings a lot to the game.
Yeah, I think like Paige said, that we all come from different teams, different towns, cities, and I think having those perspectives definitely help. And I don't know if I've never seen like a direct impact, but I think over time you see an impact where the culture might be shifting, where it's more inclusive, and it's not so much. I know when I was playing junior, it was always like you're always scared of like the older guys, like the 20-year-olds. And I think now like guys are coming from anywhere, and they can bring their own perspective, and it helps with the team, and they should have a voice as well. And I think that's better for the game, where we have kind of the whole team and everyone just, saying what they want. And, I think it'll help make the team better in the end.
No, I definitely like that. And is that, I guess, because there's a lot of people on the ice at one time, right? There's 5 people and plus the goalie. Making sure I'm getting my hockey facts right. So do you think that translates on the ice? Like if there's, if you get scored on, or if there's a bad moment in the game, or if there's a good moment in the game, that communication on the ice, do you see, that leadership, everybody being a leader on the team? Do you see that, within the communication during games?
Yeah, I'd say like it helps back to like mental toughness, and I think that helps when everyone is like feeling positive and they can contribute. Then I think it helps everyone else become mentally stronger, and in the end, I think that'll help the team have a better chance of success.
I even think like body language as well, like. Even say for our healthy scratches, so those who aren't playing, they come into our dressing room and they're hyping us up. It makes us feel like so much, like it gives us energy as well, that like they're supporting us. So I think just making sure that you're like, everyone is staying like positive, or even on like the bench, we always, one thing, like if I see someone with their head down, I'm like, pick it up, like keep cheering, like let's be loud for everyone else. So just making sure that everyone's celebrating those successes, I think, on the team.
Yeah, I think that's important too, like with the healthy scratches, or if it's someone that maybe is not playing as much, I think it's important that they're still engaged, and they're not just sulking. Like at the end of the day, it does suck not playing. Like everyone wants to play, but being a good team is, okay, if I'm not playing today, I want our team to win, because at the end of the day, like you want to win. And if there's one person that's sulking or upset or pouting, I think it just brings like the whole, like the team down, and then you can kind of see bad habits creep into the team, into the culture and stuff. And like no one wants that. No one wants to have negativity. So why can't we just all be positive and happy when we're at the rink or playing, or if you're not playing, if you are, like let's just all be together and help have success. Like I think that's very important.
Yeah, no matter what role you are on the team, like you all bring something so important and value. And I think with that too is just making sure that everyone does feel valued and included and like seen or heard on the team. So say that is someone like that's not playing, like making sure that they're still valued and included in the dressing room or practice everywhere. Yeah,
no, I definitely think that's really good, especially with those players that aren't getting the playing time, either that they think that they deserve or that they feel they want. They're like, oh, I know I can do that better. I know I can be in there and make the situation better. And I think, recognizing them and and even if they are sitting, it's like, okay, well, you're here, you're supporting us, like, and making them feel seen, I think is really important. Has there been anybody that has been on the bench, not playing a lot of games or no games if they're redshirted for the season? Have they either come to you with, like not feeling valued, or what kind of advice have you given to those players that, aren't seeing the playing time that they would like?
I feel like it's really tough and like mental, but I think for me with players that aren't playing or whatever is just making sure that they're celebrating their small successes and just seeing that like this is a journey and just living in the moment, like taking one game at a time and just having your friends to support you and being close with your friends as well is just like the friendships that you make is so important. So being able to like support others and learn from that.
Yeah, I think like I've had a few instances where being the captain, like either if it's a younger player where they're not playing as much, or if it's an older player that is, I think it's tough on you because you kind of got to like make sure, their head is still in it, but you also have to have a little bit of tough love. Like you kind of got to be like, hey, like if you're not playing, there's a reason why you're not playing. So you need to go and practice and work harder, and then that'll elevates the team's game and stuff. So, but if you're just going out there and pouting in practice, not really working hard, then that gives a reason for the coach not to play you. But if you go out there and you're working hard, or asking what can I do to get in the lineup, then that'll maybe the next game where the coach is making a tough decision. Okay, do we scratch this guy or do we play this guy? Well, this guy's been playing practicing pretty hard. Maybe we'll throw him in the game, and then you use that as an opportunity to stay in the lineup. So like I've just been really transparent where I tell them like you just kind of got to have your head down and just keep plugging away. And by pouting or being negative isn't gonna do any won't help your situation. It'll just make it worse if you're being pouty or anything like that.
Even just that with that too is knowing like some games are like need to win games, so like maybe they're saving you for that weekend as well. Just knowing that like being in and out of the lineup might be like a reason, and it's not just because you're playing bad, but maybe we need to get someone else in the lineup as well. So I think just keeping that light on for them.
Could be matchups too.
Yes.
Like depending who you're playing against, maybe if I was playing against, let's just say U of S, and I just couldn't. I just have been having tough games against U of S, and I might take over for that too.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily that you're playing bad or what, but it's just, okay, like he struggles against them, maybe we'll take him out, throw someone else in, and you just kind of got to be good with it, because at the end of the day, you're trying to win hockey games, and we're all part of the same team, and we just want to win.
Yeah.
I think even letting them like rant to us as well, I think is so important. I'm like, get it off your chest, like tell me it, like it's okay, like we'll work through it together.
Yeah, that's I've had a few guys throughout the years, just like mostly younger guys that come in to U of R specifically because they're coming from junior teams where they might have been like the top player on their team, and they come in here and it's like, okay, you're back to being a first year. You might not necessarily play a whole lot, but you just got to be kind of patient and understand that you have 4 to 5 years here. If you just be patient and you just work hard, eventually your time will come, and you just got to be ready for that.
And supportive of others too is so important.
No, I definitely think I can relate to the ranting. Anytime like I can rant to someone, just like as long as I can talk it out, then it's almost like a load is off my shoulders. How do you when players come to you and they do rant, they're unhappy, it's like a negative conversation, and you're just like, it's okay, like I'm here, you can just tell me. How do you take on that mental load? Do you what kind of healthy boundaries have you set up for yourself to be able to actively listen and share empathy and compassion with your teammates, but also not let that affect your mental game and your vision of leadership with a coach?
Yeah, I think that's the tough part about it, because you take on a lot of responsibility, and you still have to go out there and play your game. And sometimes you feel like you're kind of being the coach in a way. So that does make it tough. But I think, you just kind of got to listen to them, what they're trying to say, and kind of pick your spots with giving advice, and just support them, and just reassure that if you think you're not playing good, then there's a good chance that maybe the coach doesn't think that too, and you just gotta think of a way that you can contribute and help the team win and maybe get back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do feel like it will always stay with you. You're always like thinking about your team too, but I feel like having those conversations, I even feel better about myself because I see them upset, and I think like knowing what they're going through helps me too as well. And then like bringing that like positive into like the dressing room and like being like uplifting and just making sure that they're still being like uplifting to like others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think we've all been there. Like we've all been in and out of the lineup. We've all been a new player on the team. So just using our past experiences as well to kind of help them through it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's really good. And I think a lot of our conversations today have been really good with, you're giving advice. Not only like you're telling your stories and telling your lived experiences, but you're also giving and sharing advice. So is there any, advice that you want to give to hockey players in general? So this is not necessarily, it could be your teammates, could be people you're coaching. Do you have any advice in general, or if you want to reiterate some of the points you made earlier today?
I just think like not everyone's a skilled player. Like not everyone's gifted. Like I guess you could say McDavid. I think there's still positions for players that you work hard and you might not show up on the score sheet every night. But I think it's important for having role players in the game still. And for younger players, that you don't have to be the most skilled, absolutely the most skilled player on your team to progress through hockey. I just think like if you just keep working hard and doing the right things, do what you're told. Like I think that's a big thing. Like if you're trying to get away from the team system, it's not going to help you. I just think like do what you can do and work hard, and you'll see success in the future.
I agree with that, Sasser. I also would say is make sure to have fun and enjoy it. I feel like I kind of said, like those friendships that you make are so important, will last like forever. So be like a good teammate, support your friends, and just like enjoy every minute. Soon you're going to be old like us, and then you won't have it. And then with leadership, one thing I would say is as a leader, don't change who you are. Like stay true to who you are. You're chosen as a leader for like the person you are, the qualities you bring. So just being true to yourself, and you don't need to change.
Very well said.
I think that's perfect. And I think, especially with everybody being a leader, I think that's really important, is that everybody, stays their authentic self.
Yes.
And and just shares in the love of the game, which is great. So to wrap up our episode, Paige, you had an idea of, since I am not, well in tune with the hockey culture and hockey lingo, that you're going to quiz me on some hockey slang or terms. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see what you come up with, and I'm going to guess what they are. So if you have them, you can. I know you have a list there, so you can bring out your list. And we'll see see how it goes.
Okay, what one? What is an apple?
What is an apple?
Yeah.
My first instinct is when I think of an apple, I think of like a shining apple. Is it like a really good? I think. I don't even know how to put this into words. Like either like a really good pass or like a score, or something. Like is it something that's like really like I don't think, like I think if it's like a well, in softball we call it like a meatball down the plate. Like it's just like a really good like
play.
Yeah, like it's just given to you. Yeah,
it's an assist.
Assist on a goal.
Okay, apple assist key. I can kind of okay.
I How about a hat trick?
Okay, I have heard this one before. Do I know for sure? I know it has to do with, I feel like it has to do with scoring. And is it like scoring 3 goals?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm happy. I was like, either it's like I didn't know if it was like in basketball there's like a triple double or something. Like I didn't know if it was like you get 3 of like different things or
3 goals.
3 goals. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm happy. Okay, I got one. That's good.
Yes. We're 50-50. Okay, do you know what bar down is?
Bar down?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My brain is going to literal sense of bar down. I'm thinking like the only bar is like either the goalie's net or like the first thing I was thinking is like just shoving someone down to the ice. I think that's right. Am I closer with the goalie?
Yeah.
Yes. Really close.
Is it like
Kind of keep thinking literal.
literal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking like is like the net like off, like is the net knocked out of its place or like tipped over, or like is the goalie out of it?
No, it's
Can I just tell
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's when you score, but you hit the crossbar and it goes straight
Oh,
down.
okay.
It's a
okay.
really good, like
Yeah.
a cool goal.
Yeah.
It's a cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
It's
yeah,
like
I can
little
visualize
kids
it.
always shoot like above the net. 'Cause
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to go bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bar
down.
down.
Okay.
Okay, what about a clap bomb?
I definitely don't know what that is. Clap bomb. Thinking. My goodness. Okay, I've got a question for you. Does it come from like a sound effect, like an onomatopoeia, like a
Kind of.
kind of? Like, does it have to do with the sound that something, like a sound that someone makes or like happens on the ice?
Kind of. It had to be more in his position, defensive
Defensive position. And just
Scoring a goal.
Shooting.
shooting. Okay, wait. Say it again. It's a clap
Bomb.
clap bomb. Is it like a slap shot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, okay, wait. For defensive players, you normally stay closer to the the blue line. Yeah. And then, I guess would you be the only players that typically
No.
get a slap shot, or because I know you move
You just
around
have it more
obviously.
often because
Okay.
you get a puck from down low.
Oh yeah.
And then you can take a wrist shot, I guess. But
Okay.
then, like, usually you want to wind up and
Okay.
take a clap bomb.
Clap bomb.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Last one.
Okay.
You might know this one. What is chirping?
Okay, yeah, I've heard of.
Okay, yes.
I've heard of chirping. That's just like kind of like smack talk,
Yes.
or like between you and the other team, right?
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah.
like trash talking or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
Do you chirp in baseball or softball? I mean.
No, not typically. But wheelchair basketball, yes, lots.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot because like the community is so small. So I'm pretty sure like you probably like, do you know other players on like on the other hockey
Yeah.
teams a little
Yeah.
bit? And so like for me, the wheelchair basketball community is so small. It like people that are going, so you'll like going to all the tournaments. So you'll smack talk each other and trash talk each other on the court or even at practice. Like there's a lot of trash talking. Like I'll call one of our older players. He's not that old. I think he's like 32, 34 or something like that. But I started calling him dinosaurs. So yeah, it's just always good. Or like making fun of people who can't like shoot or you're laying
Yes,
bricks,
yeah.
like all that kind of stuff. So no, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a rating out of 10. How well did I do? You can be like truly honest.
I would say pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd give like 7.5.
I was going to say 7.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 7.
7?
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. That's
Yeah.
pretty good for not being around a lot of hockey culture. I'll take it.
Well, we got 2 open spots if you want to.
Look at that. Start learning how to skate now. That'll be good. Oh, well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And I just appreciate the talking about leadership, because that's something I'm personally passionate about, and I think it's such a big topic and so obscure and different for everybody. So I think everybody is going to benefit from this conversation. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
having us.
Yep.
yeah, no
that was
problem. Okay, well that's it.
And rate
Yeah.
us who you think has better dimples.
Oh yes, better dimples. Oh my gosh. Okay, perfect. Well, we'll see you next time on Breaking the Ice.